Okay. Now I heard y'all got an apology. Was it an apology or was it just a confirmation that she's not MAGA? Whichever one. Are you happy? Are you happy? I need for y'all to be happy. I need for y'all to be ready to move on because we got some stuff to talk about. There is now a viral video going around that has the uncommitted people talking about how they recognize that they are not going to win the White House.
We need to be clear about what our goals are. We are not in a position to win the White House.
So after all of the protests, after all of the harassment and bullying of content creators like myself, after spewing all of the anti-blackness and the hate and the division against content creators like myself, they have now come to the realization that they are not going to win the White House after we have been telling them for months. So now this is their plan.
But we do have a real opportunity to win something historic. We could deny Kamala Harris the state of Michigan.
So now their new goal is to make sure that Kamala Harris doesn't win the state of Michigan. Now you notice there's no mention of Donald Trump. They're not after Donald Trump. They are after Kamala Harris. And it's like we've been saying for months now. They are after Kamala Harris because they are working with Trump. They aren't clueless. It's not that they don't understand the politics. It is that they have always been against the black woman. And if being for the white supremacist dictator Yahtzee, if being for him means the black woman won't get into office, icing on the fucking cake. But y'all who have been with me for a while, y'all have heard me say that Donald Trump and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, have got their eyes on Gaza. You've heard me say that Donald Trump and Bibi are like this, and they've got plans for Gaza. Y'all have heard me talk about how Jared Kushner did an interview where he said that Gaza was prime beachfront property.
There are real fears on the part of Arabs, and I'm sure you talk to a lot of them, who think once Gazans leave Gaza, Netanyahu's never going to let them back in.
Maybe, but I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point. And Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. But I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. But I don't think that Israel has stated that they don't want the people to move back there afterward.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, now you've got Donald Trump out here talking with one of his fellow white supremacist buddies, talking loudly about the wonderful plans, what they could do with Gaza.
President, you're a developer, so I want to talk to you about Gaza. I worked with land use developers for 35 years when I was actively practicing law. You know how to build things. Gaza is in ruins. Could Gaza be Monaco if it was rebuilt the right way? Could someone make Gaza into something that all the Palestinian people would be proud of, would want to live in, would benefit them?
It could be better than Monaco. It has the best location in the Middle East, the best water, the best everything. It is the best. I've said it for years. When I've been there, and it's rough. It's a rough place before all of the attacks and before back and forth. What's happened over the last couple of years, and I said, "Wow, look at this." I mean, they have the back of a plant facing the ocean. They'd have. There was no ocean as far as that was concerned. they never took advantage of it. As a developer, it could be the most beautiful place. The weather, the water, the whole thing, the climate. It could be so beautiful. It could be the best thing in the Middle East, but it could be one of the best places in the world. And, there are other civilizations. I don't know if you know this. It's crazy, but that's been a rough neighborhood. That's been a rough place. Underneath that are two other civilizations where they were wiped out and they started over and they build on top.
Donald Trump and his little white supremacist friend, they're salivating over what they can do with Gaza. And don't be fooled by that guy's little opening. We could make it a wonderful place for the people over in Palestine. Yeah, I bet you would. You and all of your rich investment friends, y'all would go over there and y'all would 100% price out the Palestinians to make it yours. And yet you got them over here, Palestinian Americans, talking about they're going to make sure that Kamala Harris doesn't get into the White House. She's not going to win Michigan. And this is what her opponent is planning. Kind of makes me wonder, kind of makes me ask the question, are these people selling out their own people, selling out their own people's land because nothing else makes sense for them to be tools of white supremacy? What were these uncommitted folks promised? I'm telling you, something else is going on here.